And I looked at the thing and it was like, boom, we're ready to go in like 30 seconds. So
Really?
Yeah, we have like less than a minute. So I was out. I don't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
I was out clowning around.
I was lining up my drinks.
Good. Oh, you got really big beers.
They just sort of appeared.
Who brought the big ones?
Mark did last week.
Mark?
Except he's not Mark.
Oh, that's right. He's from California. He's from Boston.
He's like Mark.
Okay. What are we going to talk about?
He's an old hippie, so it'd be like Mark.
Mark?
Hey, man.
With that California upspeak?
My name is Mark.
He didn't do that.
Is that a question?
Hey, everybody. This is Matt. We're at Texas Toast Guitars. Thanks for watching our 1 hour of prime time guitar on Thursday, every Thursday. And with me, as always, is Garth. Is Chris to my left, your right. You guys already know that, though.
Yeah.
Everybody pretty much knows who you are.
Everybody. If it's your first time, this is Matt. I am Chris.
That's right.
Welcome.
Yeah.
To our humble abode.
So, Chris, I do the same thing every single time. How's it going today? Even though I know.
Pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good, Matt.
Yeah.
I got some good stuff done. I got some good stuff coming up.
Do you know that I got to hang out with Chris Hill from Odyssey Beer Works today?
Uh-huh. I heard the way I heard the story was some chick named Crystal needed a ride to the airport.
That's not entirely how it happened.
I said, "Who's Crystal?" And Brandon said, "Oh, Chris Hill." Oh. This is not going to be as good a story in the end, I don't think.
In the end. So I was hanging out with Chris Hill from Odyssey Beer Works for a little while today, and it's good to
Any truth to the rumor that you don't even really have to slow down? He just like tucks and rolls when he gets out at the airport?
No, hold on. Someone's trying to call me right now during a live stream. I can't do that.
Yeah.
So
now you have to come to a complete stop. And
he had like his luggage and stuff. So, but anyway, so it's because he owns I'm not telling you anything you don't already know, but he owns a business in the same general neighborhood that we do. And so it's nice to, kind of talk about like, I don't know, like he knows Marty at 12 volt and he knows all those guys. Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah. Cool. And he's a cool guy.
He's a cool guy. Yeah. Uh-huh. So anyhow.
And I've never hung out with him before.
It's
like
funny
11
to.
a.m.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that's
still
right.
At the brewery.
Yeah. That was still, yeah.
Yeah.
No, so that was a good time. So I hope that he is doing well on his
journey.
Flight. So anyways, did you watch any of Ike and Dylan at Flipside Music, the great American guitar store, for the first hour of Primetime Guitar?
Not.
We've been actually very busy. What have you been up to, sir?
Well, I've been assembling guitars.
Okay.
And I've been getting some stuff done that we've been wanting to get done, and marching some stuff forward. And I'm pretty happy with the amount done, because I got one completely done that's been a long time coming. I got another one really close. I got another one I got another two marched forward, so that they're getting pretty close as well.
Neat.
So
okay,
once paint is done and buffed,
if
that all goes well, then they get really close, and you get frets done, and then it's like, well, these things are almost ready to go. There's only a little bit more to do.
Do you know that one of our homeboys, Lefty O, just bought a Challenger X, or he just put
that's cool.
A down payment on a Challenger X. So I have updated the website to have some stuff about the Challenger X, and there's a link in the description below. If you guys want to get in on the Challenger X, you can. Rick, I see your super chat. I'm going to get to it here in 1 second. Actually, you know what? I'm going to drop everything. I'm going to get to Rick's super chat right now. Okay. Rick says, "Hey guys, happy Thursday." Question.
Rick B.
Yeah, Rick B, the one, the Rick only.
Beato,
what's your go? Quiet. What's your go method to finish oil my neck for my fabric top class? Well, Rick, that's a great question. And our go-to method right now is, as you know, we have a little bit of a relationship with Steve over at Maximum Guitar Works. the Great American Guitar Works, and we use his SOS Mad Hard Finish Scientist Oil and Wax System. Mad Scientist Hard Oil and Wax Finish Systems. We like both the number 7, which has an oil and a wax, kind of all in one. Or if you are going to put some other finish on it later, we recommend the number 8 because that is
it doesn't have any wax in it.
It doesn't have any wax in it. You can
So
you can
put
squirt
stuff
other
over it.
finish on it later.
Yeah.
Link.
I'm actually really impressed with this stuff.
I am too. Yeah.
As a newbie to the oil finished neck world, and usually they come out feeling not all that great. This stuff's actually really neat.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I dig it. And linked in the description below if you want to check out Steve at Maximum Guitar Works. He's right here in Colorado, just like us, and this stuff is ready to go.
And I'll bet you a bottle of this would last the average person forever.
A good long while, anyway.
Yeah, I can't imagine, because it just doesn't take very much of it to do.
Yeah. We've actually got the OG Mad Scientist one.
Yeah, we have the
and we have the
prototype. This is the retail stuff that you will get if you buy it.
The good stuff kids go for.
The prototype labels that are not shiny.
We
keeping those and selling them on
we
eBay.
Also have the really OG like jar of it that
a jug that used to hold something else.
I think it was one of these. It's one of these, isn't it? But it doesn't have a label at all.
I think it's
I think Steve just wrote Steve's oil on it or something.
Yeah, put this on next, I think is what it says.
Yeah. But anyway, so getting back to the Challenger X, guys, if you don't know what the Challenger X is, it's a brand new pre-order thing that we've got going on right now. So for $100 down, you can get in at the introductory price. And like I say, we've gotten several orders for these already. Lefty O just ordered his today. And so for $100 down, you can get, your guitar going. And I dare you to come up with something cool because like you can get whatever color you want. You can get a trim if you want, and you can get, he like Lefty wants an upside down headstock. Great. Like I say, you want, I don't know. Or can you get P90s with it?
Yeah.
You can? I didn't know if we offered that as an option.
I think we did.
Okay.
I'm hoping we did.
Yeah, if you want P90s, yeah, sure. Great.
I kind of want one in P90, so.
Okay. Yeah, we'll make one in P90. Yeah. So it is, I have been calling it, what do you think of this, Chris? Affordable luxury, reduced wait time. Because that's kind of the thing is Steve at Maximum Guitar Works is building these necks for us. So really you want a wheel adjust truss rod? Great. You want carbon fiber inserts? You got it. You want some kind of hippie wood neck? No sweat. But it's a way for us to build lots of guitars quickly. We get to use our Challenger shape. Dylan's making all the pickups for us. Hipshot's making all the hardware for us. I mean, they always do. But yeah, it's just a really cool thing. And I am urging you to get metallic in the paint. What say you?
Yeah. I think metallic will probably work well. It worked out really well with the Beato Blue, the Pelham Blue guitars. One of the funny things about those when we were spraying them is there's so much silver in that. The first few coats, the guitar basically looks like silver.
Okay.
And that's the kind of what sinks into the grain. So that sort of shines through. Yeah. And so that's why I think the metallic works out really well.
It's cool.
Black would work out well. Cream would work out well.
We've got a guy wanted one in purple with black hardware.
Yeah,
totally
so
cool.
We'll do a metallic purple. Burgundy mist.
You want a sunburst? You can do it. Now, I think that sunburst looks cool in our DTF finish with the RNT treatment, but I don't think it looks as good as the metallic. Now, having said that, we did sell that one that I actually did the burst on just the other day. So pretty neat.
I think, man, orange metallic would look cool. Burnt orange metallic would look cool.
If you want to get like 3 or 4 of them for $100 down, knock yourself out and get them in a bunch of colors. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, gold might be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I was actually really happy with the way the metallic blue came out. Because
I was
wasn't
too.
really sure. We've done some stuff like that before, but not in that exact finish.
So Lefty says
Almost
that
got
he
really
he
blue.
absolutely wants metallic, and his is he wants the Pelham blue, so that's
Okay.
going to be
well,
cool.
that's easy because we still have some Pelham blue left.
Yep. And that's a custom color that Emo mixed up for us,
It
by
is,
the way.
yeah. It actually says custom color on
Mhm.
it. It doesn't say Pelham blue.
No. Alan wanted to know if he wants to know if we'll do pink sparkle. Sure, why not?
We'll do pink metallic.
Pink metallic.
Yeah, not pink metal flake.
But he also asked if we're still using Simtec. And yes, absolutely.
Mhm.
That is one thing, that was, remember way back in the day when we first started using, the first time we ever used Simtec. I don't want to say we first started using it because we weren't sure if we liked it, if we were going to like it.
We were so unsure. We only bought a quart.
Yeah. And now we buy it in like 5 gallons at a time.
Yeah. As many. Yeah. Where's the price break on shipping?
Yeah.
Yeah. If I buy 4, is that it? I think it's 4. If you buy 5, then that's a new box.
Yeah.
So,
And a hazmat.
And a new
if you buy a 5 gallon thing of it, there's a hazmat deal that
you can't do that, but we buy it in gallon. Yeah, because we were gonna there was also a time we were gonna buy it in 5 gallon tubs and sell it in pints.
Sell it in pints to you guys, yeah. Because people are like, I can't get Simtec. I'm like, yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can, but we were gonna try and take advantage of that.
Yeah.
But because I thought, man, they gotta sell this stuff in a 5 gallon tub with a pump. Even if they don't have the pump, we can source
we
a pump.
We can figure out a pump. Yeah.
And it turns out there was a big hazmat fee for 5 gallons of that stuff floating around.
Well, plus we didn't want to buy a bunch of little pint jars and hen house send out Simtec with a little tiny
we kind of
MEKP.
We wouldn't have wanted to for very long, but there was an idea. This is also along the lines of our the great Rich Light
fretboard. Yeah.
Try and say that. Incident of
I remain a fan of Rich Light. Our tools do not like Rich Light.
Yeah.
Cutting tools do not like Rich Light.
Nope.
So
as it turns out.
Let's take a question from Greg Latham. Hey, Spike is here. I haven't seen Spike for a while.
Cool.
He asks, the illumination in your shop is always stellar. What sort of lighting are you using, especially in the finishing area? That, Greg, is a terrific question. It really is. We have completely gotten rid of all the fluorescent lamps in the shop.
Yeah. So when we first moved into this place, it had a bunch of fluorescent fixtures in the ceiling. It's a drop ceiling, and it's just those standard T40
T8s,
T8s, yeah. And first thing we did was pull all the diffusers. Is that what they call that?
We pulled all the diffusers and pulled all the old lamps.
Pulled all the old lamps and bought the brightest lamps we could.
Yeah, and all the same color. It was okay,
good, until we got the new shop.
Yeah, and when we upgraded to the new wood shop, it had the craptastic-y, like 8-foot fluorescence, and it was yellow,
positively brown in there. And then our good friend Sparky D said, because I don't know, he said, well, let's just convert it to LED.
And we're like, what is that?
Cheap and easy. And
how hard is that?
Okay. And the next thing you know, he shows up with all the stuff to do it.
And it's actually, it was remarkably easy because you yank all the fluorescent bulbs out and you put the new 8-foot LED tubes in and you pull the ballast out. So
pull the ballast out and just,
so you don't, because it's all 110 going to the LED fixtures and or the LED lamps. And so you eliminate the ballasts that you can't source easily anymore at like a home center. And you eliminate the lamps that go bad and look like crap after a while. So and so we turned that on, and it was almost like a come to Jesus moment. It was so white in there. And I used to walk from the place that I used to think had pretty good light into the place that did have good light, and then have to walk back and go, oh man, this isn't very good in here. Yeah. You guys can't see it, but I have like a diffuser over this light fixture that's right above me now. Cause if not, I look really.
So we
wide.
changed all the ones in here too.
Yeah.
These aren't 8 foot; they're 4 foot. But he did the same exact thing, and it's pretty bright in here. It's pretty white.
Yeah.
That's really what you want is white.
Yeah.
It's not bright. It's white.
Yep.
So, and it's good. So, and I don't think that stuff costs all that much. And
Yeah.
he's an electrician, so I think he got a little bit better deal. But you can buy all this stuff on Amazon too.
Yeah.
As it turns out.
Yeah, and we've always had LED fixtures in the paint booth.
Mm-hmm.
Never
Yeah.
not had LED fixtures in the paint booth.
Yep.
So
a
couple
from a
those
like
came from a 7-Eleven actually.
oh, those are I
Mhm.
thought it was something else. Okay.
No. Let's see. The Acid Dragon 069 asks, are there any advantages of the 4 and 2 tuner configuration, like on the Music Man versus the inline 6 or the 3x3, or is it purely aesthetic? Well, you want to field this one?
I think we could both field it.
Okay. I'll go first.
Okay.
I think it is a cool aesthetic.
Uh-huh.
But there are some advantages from a construction and build point of view, and that is no string tree needed, because the B and the high E are back at the other end of the neck now, and so they break off the nut at an angle that is steeper than you would get from even a staggered tuning post that's way down.
Mm-hmm.
You don't, so no string tree needed, and the headstock can be shorter.
And it can be shorter and a little bit less wood,
Mm-hmm.
and you get to thumb your nose at Fender.
That's another good one. Yep.
And it's amazing. You take a like a Tele or a Strat headstock template, and you draw it out.
Mm-hmm.
You flip it over, and you draw it out, and all of a sudden it's like, oh!
All of a sudden you have a 4 and 2.
Yeah,
yep.
Yeah. Look at that. And you can't really do a 3 and 3 that way. I don't think.
I don't think
it doesn't
so.
quite.
It doesn't
work.
quite. You could stagger it. You guys have
Yeah.
seen that, like the Van Halen guitars with the
Oh,
very
yeah,
very
yeah.
small 3 on a side headstock, and they
Uh-huh.
stagger them a little
Yeah.
bit, and you can get it
Yep.
that way.
It's all about straight string pull, right?
That's what people love.
Yep.
Sebastian asks, said that he saw our Floyd Rose single humbucker strap body making video, and he really liked it. Thank you, sir. But he likes the Floyd Rose top mounted because the recessed route looks ugly. Well, you don't have to do that. You can, Steve at Maximum Guitar Works, link in the description below, offers the template set for Floyd's, and he offers it with, I'm not sure how he sells it, but you can get the, you can get all of the recess stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to use it,
Right?
but you can.
And it snaps into the template.
Yeah,
right?
you can only use some of it if you
That's
want, or you can
insane.
use all of it. And they are laser cut and exactly to the specs that Floyd Rose has on their website.
Uh-huh.
So if you want the most accurate Floyd Rose tremolo installation templates, Steve at Maximum Guitar Works makes the best. Now, if you choose to use the route, you can. If you don't like the Floyd Rose one, then whatever. But that's what Floyd recommends.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, okay.
What's he used to laser cut those with?
A freaking laser.
Sweet.
Yeah. So anyway, E.R. Webster, Lucky Charms. I know it's surgery trash, but unreasonably satisfied. Oh, sugary trash. I think okay. So I think we're jumping
Were we
into.
talking about.
I think everyone is chatting amongst themselves about guilty pleasures.
Oh.
And what I want to talk to you guys about today is not every single guilty pleasure that you deviants have, but specifically your guilty pleasure guitar. Now, what I mean
So
by
exactly,
that.
what do you mean?
Okay, so what I mean by that is
What exactly is a guilty pleasure?
so imagine, if you will, and I'm going to give you guys some time to come up with your guilty pleasure guitars while Chris and I talk about ours. And then I'd like to hear what you guys have to say, because I think this will be fun. I want you guys to leave all your stuff in the comment section. I'm going to try to get to everyone. Okay.
Okay.
So the guilty pleasure would be something that you really like. Maybe you'd rather your friends didn't know you liked it so much. How about that?
Uh-huh.
Like you might not even have one, but you think it's cool.
Uh-huh.
Or, so for example, I don't know. Well, I'll just jump in. I'll talk about some of my guilty pleasure guitars.
I'm allowed to have more than one?
Sure, you can, yeah, but I'm going to distill mine down to something. I'm going to distill mine down to one brand, one era. Okay. Because I have some, so everybody loves Les Pauls and Strats and Tellys. That's like just what everybody likes.
That's just a pleasure.
That's just something cool that basically lots of people can agree on. Now, someone's going to go, I don't like any of them. Fine. But my guilty pleasure guitar is actually a brand of guitars from an era. And that would be anything. You know where I'm going with this already.
Okay.
I bet you.
Okay.
I'm going to say it and you tell me if you thought I was right. Or if you guessed right.
Okay.
Anything made by BC Rich in the 80s.
Yeah.
Anything iridescent yellow. Anything with the stupid, pointy headstock.
Where do you stop on that guilty pleasure with that company?
I don't think I do. Now, I don't
don't
own any BC Rich stuff right now.
Pink acrylic?
Oh, yeah. It has to be wood and it has to be paint.
All right.
And it has, because the pink acrylic didn't come out until much later.
Correct.
I like stuff that was like, okay, if CC DeVille had it in that first Poison video, for the people who don't know, there was a band back in the 80s called Poison, and there was a guitar player for the band Poison back in those days named CC DeVille.
Yeah.
And the very first video that most people saw was the Talk Dirty to Me video. And the very first scene one of the first scenes of the video is, I think Brett Michaels twirling the phone. But then it's just a line of like BC Rich.
It's a fake live concert.
Yeah, but remember, like they're in an alley, right, by allegedly CBGBs or something.
Okay.
There's a line of iridescent yellow and orange and green and pink BC Rich warlocks and bitches and stuff. Okay. And CC DeVille has one, and I'm like, yeah. And then like there's an explosion, and everybody has great big hair, and they're doing kicks and shit like that.
This probably also falls into guilty pleasure music.
It probably does, yeah. Let's take a couple of super chats, Chris. One from Dave who says, I got a fever and the only prescription is more Challengers. Dave, I'm really glad that you said that because your carved top Challenger is coming along really, really cool. It's super cool.
Hopefully
Steve,
a Challenger is never a guilty pleasure.
No, a Challenger is just something that you ought to have.
You don't really want any of your friends to know. It's like a moped.
Yeah, you want your friends to know you have a Challenger.
Yeah, but you don't want them to know you like mopeds.
Yeah. Steve, aka Rotbox, says, Matt, I just checked out the pics of my quilt top you sent today. It looks sick. Almost patterned a little bit like snakeskin. It is, sir. I need to know, by the way, can you give me some clarification on controls? If you could send me an email. If not, I will send you an email tomorrow and I'll get it going. But I want to get that done like tomorrow. So thank you, by the way, too, Steve, for all of your patience with me. So would you have guessed that I would have said BC Rich?
Yeah, there was a point at which I thought, I bet Matt talks about BC Riches during this thing.
So. Now, I have always thought BC Riches were cool.
Yeah,
but I've also liked the Koa and maple and neck through things. But and I something about just the dorky 80s BC Rich, like. Yield sign yellow.
Yeah.
They were trying Mockingbirds.
Yeah.
And they weren't like, and you could get like the USA made ones of those, but you could also get like you could get like the back then, whatever it cost, like we didn't have Guitar Center back then where I grew up. But it was kind of like the cheap BC Rich.
Yeah.
And they were still cool.
They were probably made in Korea at that point.
You think? Yeah, I don't know.
That was the go-to cheap place then.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Cool.
So that would be, I think that's my number one guilty pleasure guitar. So like, I think like of course I love Dan Armstrong clear lucite guitar, but I think those are cool enough that people don't consider that to be a guilty pleasure. I think when you open the case up, people go, ooh, cool. Not when you
Yeah.
open the case up on a 1987 BC Rich bolt-on, they go, what the hell is
Yeah.
that? So,
Okay.
with like a crappy Floyd on it, that's like an import thing,
Yeah.
you know.
Uh-huh.
So anyway,
There you go. Cool.
and I like the script logo on the headstock too.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that might be a defining moment
Yes,
in BC Rich.
It's
As soon as it's kind of like when PB changed from their original logo to that kind of lightning bolt logo.
with a real. I thought it was always the pointy one.
No, there was one before that was way more roundy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
Oh,
then
okay.
it got more lightning bolty.
I guess I'm sort of
And,
down. I'm not really up on my PV history. When did they have what era of logo did they have, like the aluminum stripes on the side
on
of
the
the
sides.
that
Of
was
the
the
PAs,
pointy.
That was no. I think that was still the roundy. Go look up PV.
Okay, I
Logo, and you'll see. Yeah, there's definitely two different
Okay.
generations of that stuff. That was 70s stuff. Yeah,
the
I heard a
aluminum.
funny story about PV stuff. I was watching this. I think the guy's name is Otis Guy, and he does YouTube videos and he talks to famous people. And he was talking to this guy that played with Dwight Yoakam for about 5 years. When Dwight decided that he wanted to basically have Elvis's backup band.
Okay,
And this guy had played stand-up bass with Johnny Cash for a long time, and really cool interview and really cool guy.
I think it's Otis Gibb, Homer's Reluctant Odyssey.
Yeah, Otis Gibb. Yeah, not Otis Guy.
I'm getting some solidarity on the BC
Yeah,
Rich, by the
yeah,
way, and people are talking about PV.
Yeah.
Guilty Pleasure is also Dan Electro. That seems to be one that comes up.
Yeah. And so apparently Dwight Yoakam has always played loud.
Mm-hmm.
And one of his favorite things to
I
play
can attest
through
to that.
is he likes to play his acoustic guitar through like this 1,000-watt PV system that he has, and it irritates sound guys everywhere they go. So yeah, and the funny thing is PV, for as much as they're maligned, there sure are a lot of people that really love that shit.
They're not
sure
the only
are a lot of
ones who
people
kept PV in business in the
that
80s.
grew up with PV and still think PV is probably okay. Yeah. I think Leonard Skinner was a big PV.
Lots of PV gear
stuff. Yeah. When you couldn't afford somebody else, you bought PV, and it was really pretty good.
Not too shabby.
So
anyway. We have a question from Curtis, who asks, TTG Challenger Saturday Night Special. How do the pickups on this compare with a good PAF? I think they're actually quite good. Our Pure Juice pickups are hand wound.
On the Saturday Night Special.
Okay.
Okay.
They're a slightly hotter than PAF. They have Alnico 2 magnets. They're just a pickup that we have made for us. So yeah, they don't say Gibson on them. They say Texas Toast Pure Juice. So yeah. And frankly, it's not like we created the PAF. We just took a PAF and said, well, can you wind a little hotter? And that's all we really wanted. So, which at the end of the day, there's not a lot you can do to change coil and magnet. You can add more wire, which makes, which alters output, and you can, but scoops mids, and you can
something else
use different magnets. What's that?
Not only add more wire, use less wire.
You can use less wire. You can use a different gauge wire.
Use a different gauge.
So
you can change the magnets.
So if Dylan's here watching, he will be able to chime in here. Seymour Duncan has forgotten more about winding pickups than I will ever know. But even in my tiny brain, I realize that if you have a catalog with 100 pickups in it, there are very, very small differences between the A, B, C, X, Y. It's very small differences, or no difference in winds of wire, but new magnets, or one ceramic and one's Alnico, and yeah. So I don't have any reservations about our Pure Juice humbuckers. So anyway,
sure.
Hey, my friend, my good buddy Richard Ryan asks, could Chris possibly have a guilty pleasure guitar that anyone would find shocking or questionable. Chris, I think that means you are up, sir.
So I have a couple different guitars. The first one is cheap American Harmonies and Ks.
Okay.
And guitars, and at one point I think these guitars were thought less of even than some of the Japanese stuff that I love.
Okay.
And we could talk about that, but I don't want to talk about
I think
that.
Harmonies and Ks in 2022 are less of a guilty pleasure than they were in 1990,
Yeah.
in 1980 to 1999, 2000.
Sure. Yeah. But stuff like and like Airline and Sears sold a lot of Harmony stuff,
Mhm.
but like the Harmony Jupiter series, which just looks basically like a single cut Les Paul, in a lot of ways a parlor guitar with one really marginal pickup and a steel rod running through the middle.
I think
and
Richard Ryan would
all of that stuff.
would appreciate your Harmony
Yeah.
and K guilty pleasure.
Well, probably. And really, one of the things about this is guitars. I don't mind sharing my likes with anybody.
Yeah.
I like guitars, and I don't know that. Well, I've met some guitars that I didn't like, but even some really early cheap junk, they tried as hard as they could for that price point.
Mm-hmm.
And some of that stuff is really fun and makes some cool, fun noises.
Hold on, can we take a quick super chat from Bobby Dill, my homeboy Bobby Dill? He says, "You are building my guilty pleasure. No one in my circle likes a flying V except for our youngest daughter who plays one." And yeah, I
saw something the other day and somebody said, "Are flying Vs even cool? Flying Vs and Explorers?" And I thought, if they're not, we sure make a lot of them.
Yeah. Yep. So I have a very particular flying V that I love.
Uh-huh.
And it's the 1958 one. And it's gotta be white limba, and it's gotta be that honey color, and it's gotta have the 58 stuff. It's not that I don't like the others, but I love the 58s.
Right.
And if I was gonna have one, that'd be the one I would have. Bobby also says that by the way, Bobby, who bought the original, the very first numero uno Saturday Night Special. And Bobby, by the way, your certificate of awesometicity is on the way. We had to go get more stuff. So, okay.
Emailed him that,
he says that the pickups in the Saturday Night Special sound great. So
he's already gotten it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
He probably got it today then.
Yeah.
So today's day 2 and he doesn't live that far away.
No.
Cool. Good.
Anyway,
the funny thing about the V is you look.
Oh, and Curtis also wants to know the Saturday Night Special neck profile. It's our standard Challenger neck profile. 860 at the first fret, 90 at the 12th fret, C shape, 1 and 11/16 at the nut, 10-inch radius.
Yep,
candy corn.
Yeah, crayon in the middle. I'm
What?
just adding words to make it sound better. Crayon in the middle. Yeah. Hair on fire. All the good stuff.
Yeah. It's got a fairly thick fretboard. It's the neck that we put on everything, and it's the neck that I just sort of make by default. So
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually,
I think the Saturday Night Special is a super cool guitar.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's no there's no pre-order on the Saturday Night Special because it's
pre-order limit.
It's one thing. It's black, and it's got a maple neck, and it's got the Pure Juice humbuckers, and it's got a stop tail and tune-o-matic.
Yep.
Anything you want other than that, we're going to push you up to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
And there are lots and lots and lots of levels of Challengers, including the Challenger X, which is our latest pre-order.
It's the second tier.
It might be the second. We haven't decided yet. Now we're still making.
There's not a lot of distance between Saturday Night Special and X.
Actually, there is quite a bit
for something in the middle.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. There's not a lot of dollar difference.
Right. That's what I mean.
But there is. We've got
extra nickel.
We've got that one over there that's got a different finish, and it's
Yeah.
got some other options. We're still making the Challenger Standard with the reveal binding and the flame maple top and the semi hollow body. You guys are going to see a lot more carved tops coming soon because I've decided I want to do more carved tops because I was like, no, I don't want to do carved tops, and then we made one that I really liked, and it's going to Vincent, and I'm like, we have to do more of these. So anyway, but we still make all those other things, but right now is a great time. Oh, we're still making the Junior. We've still got the Junior in TV yellow or whatever. We've got TV cream, TV pink. We made one of those. You could do TV black, I guess. I don't know. And what else? Well, I mean, we've got a Challenger Custom with a boatload of 5-ply binding and inlay and all kinds of different stuff. We're still making all those things, and the website is under construction right now. And you'll start to see all these different levels of Challenger guitars that you can get into. So,
yep.
But right now, super awesome pre-order special on the Challenger X, $100 down. You can get yours, and link in the description below. Like I said, affordable luxury, reduced wait time because Steve is custom making all the necks for us. So anyway, okay. Cool. Let's see. So Dylan I think Dylan is working the comment section. I hope I'm not missing anything. But yeah, I think we're caught up mostly. Mark Sin says TV white would be cool. Well, Mark was here when we actually unveiled the Challenger X, and yeah. So when Chris comes back from the beer fridge with 2 beers, one for me and one for Chris, he's going to tell us about one of his other guilty pleasure guitars. But guys, I want you to tell me your guilty pleasure guitars because I really want to know, and I'm going to try to not miss them, but put a bunch of asterisks or something, and I'll try to keep everybody in the loop here.
Yep. My next
I'm all
guilty
ears.
pleasure guitar. Don't tell Matt, but it's acoustic guitars.
Oh, okay. Just in general?
Yeah.
And like Ovation or something? Or
no.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay. If
somebody gives me one. I like acoustic guitars. I think they're fun to play.
Okay. You are getting up there in age. Yeah. Remember that show Metalocalypse?
Yeah.
And they called them Grandpa's guitars.
Yeah. And that's what you call them. And I'm not allowed to like acoustic guitars in this shop. So that's a guilty pleasure, as I pretend that I don't like acoustic guitars.
That's an excellent
but
one,
I do
by the way. Yeah.
like acoustic guitars.
Okay.
Now, do I like acoustic guitars for everything? Do I only want to play acoustic guitars? No. Do I think an acoustic guitar is a great lead instrument? No. Is it a good rhythm instrument with an electric guitar? Sure.
Okay.
Is it a good singer-songwriter guitar? Yes. Is that what I use them for? Sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I like the idea too of an acoustic guitar through 1,000-watt PV stack.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
Now that's my kind of acoustic guitar.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes he plays the acoustic, other times he plays whatever. But apparently that band is loud. And Johnny Cash was the same way, loud.
Yeah.
In person, loud.
There's some bands that certainly pull off acoustic instruments better than others.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I think that Jerry Jeff Walker was way cooler when he had an acoustic guitar than, say, Bon Jovi. I mean, and I'm not taking anything away from Bon Jovi,
So Bon Jovi, in a lot of ways, every time they played acoustic guitars, there were 2 acoustic guitars.
Yeah.
They just ditched the electric thing completely, except for maybe the solo in that one song. But what's wrong with an acoustic guitar as a rhythm guitar and an electric guitar? Because then
James Brown would probably say it's a drum at that point, right?
Maybe. Yeah. Well, yeah. But I think there's room for an acoustic guitar and stuff.
I think there definitely is too. I just don't particularly care for them.
Sure.
And I have been my resolve has been steeled by the Billy Gibbons quote that acoustic guitars are bad luck. And so I've kind of saddled my horse to that. And so I can't really,
Yeah. And Yeah, the funny thing is that you can't make an electric guitar sound very much like an acoustic guitar. So you still have to go back to that, that uncomfortable, rotten acoustic guitar thing if you want that kind of a sound. You can approximate it.
Now, one thing that not everybody knows about me, but I think you do, Chris, is that I don't universally pan acoustic guitars, but I do universally pan steel string or metal string.
Yeah.
A good nylon string. I really like nylon string classical guitars. In fact, if I ever make another acoustic instrument again, it will be a nylon string classical guitar. I think that I would rather do that than the like a Martin or a,
sure. Yeah.
So.
And I have no interest in making any of that stuff. And really, I don't even have a lot of interest in having a really good acoustic guitar, but they're kind of fun, Yeah. Yeah. It's like listening to the Go-Go's.
Let's take
some. All your friends to know.
I like the Go-Go's. Yeah. So let's take a couple of let's listen to what y'all say is your guilty pleasure guitar, whether it's acoustic or not. I love PV amps. Okay, that's a good one. Curtis says, "Thank God other people who like Coors." We maybe Coors is a guilty pleasure, although I don't
even have any issue with saying I like Coors.
Yeah. Doc. Hey, Doc. It's good to hear from Doc.
It is.
He says that he guesses his guilty pleasure would be Relic Parts Caster. Oh, he says, I have two that I put together for myself. Not everyone's cup of tea. I know.
Kept that quiet.
Should have kept that. Yeah. No, I think so. So here's the thing. It's sort of like when people go, well, what do you want for lunch? I don't know. Let's just go to McDonald's. McDonald's. How can you eat that? I'm not the only person who keeps McDonald's.
Everybody universally doesn't like.
And I don't
McDonald's,
eat McDonald's, but
McDonald's is still
so. If the pre-beat up guitar was something that nobody liked, Fender wouldn't make them. So it's
and yet,
yeah,
they make an awful lot of them.
I think that the custom shop is essentially just what level of beat up do you want? Do you want none or some or a lot?
Yeah, and or even there can even be 5 different levels of how much beat up. None of them being new.
Can you not get like a Fender custom shop that's like shiny and new?
No, you can from the Fender custom shop. But I think there are other places that specialize in that. Played twice and shoved under the bed and aged until now.
Okay,
which is a look. There's
Now I can appreciate that.
There's
like a not buffed within an inch of its life.
But they'll still have a couple of little scuffs and scrapes. They call Fender the custom shop calls it NOS, new old stock.
Okay.
But there's still it may have some checking. It may on those level guitars. Now I think at the Fender custom shop you can get, you can call them up and ask for a poly finished guitar.
Oh, okay.
And I want it really shiny and not to age.
Okay.
I'll do that for you.
Well, like I think that our 73 finish cops that kind of stored under the bed.
But we don't do any kind of we don't stuff unless there's an accident.
Yeah,
that's not a thing. So, but I know of another guy that's building stuff, and he has, I think, 5 or 6 different levels of aged.
Slacker Deluxe says, my Esquire, because it's ridiculous. I'm thinking that's his double cutaway, tremolo, whammy bar equipped pink Esquire that he built when he was out here.
Except that's not a really, I think anybody that's willing to admit to a guilty pleasure on this, it's probably not their top guilty pleasure. They probably have something else that they're never going to tell anybody that they really like.
Oh, could be,
like mandolin or banjo.
Chris Hendricks is going to disagree with Doc vehemently and say that relic guitars are like stolen valor. They artificially replicate old guitar mojo. And that's that's, I guess. I don't know. there are certain things that you can buy that are artificially aged.
Yeah.
Jeans was the first thing that I saw. I'm sure there was other
Uh-huh.
stuff, but you remember when you could like get back in the 80s, they had the acid wash jeans. That wasn't the same kind of deal, but like
No,
you could
but
buy
like
pre-faded
stone-washed,
jeans
yeah.
and you could buy jeans with a hole in them
And all
or
of a sudden they
whatever.
started showing up with holes in them.
Yeah. And it wasn't long after that I started to see guitars that were artificially aged.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you can go down and buy a new Toyota that's beat up. I don't think you can go buy like a new Chevy that comes from the factory with rust package.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you can, but yeah.
Yeah.
Remember there was those Chevys that had that
3 out
white
of 4
paint?
tires are pretty good.
There was that like in the late 90s or no, like early 90s, there was that white paint that Chevy used that came off in big
Water-based,
chunks.
Yeah.
And and that wasn't a feature, but like imagine
Yeah.
if that were a feature. Oh, in this new paint that chips off in big
Camo,
hunks.
white and gray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's super
Just
cool.
pops right up. Yeah, look.
Pops
man.
right off.
I can't even see your truck in a snowstorm anymore.
Dylan Tuxtone asks, who plays accordion or tambourine? Give yourselves up.
Yeah, yeah.
Doug Centennial, my homeboy Doug, says, my Dean Black Cadillac, because both Rich Williams and Terry Live Green both played them on tour in the early. I love the Dean Cadillacs. They are super, super cool. I you know what? A Dean Cadillac without that great big tuning fork headstock might as well not be a Dean Cadillac. So yeah.
Somebody thought that was a good idea.
Joy says that she can slightly play the accordion. Another one rides the bus.
Yep.
Black Dog Sheep, who I believe is Zed, says his Daisy Rock atomic pink basses.
That is
a guilty pleasure
right there. Yep. That is the absolute definition. Daisy Rock pink bass.
So
Winner.
Curtis Chavez says that he is a Chicano and accordion is in his DNA.
Who said that?
Curtis.
Oh yeah,
he's the guy who wants. I think he's probably ordering a Saturday Night Special from us right now.
That's cool. Yeah, but white guys playing accordion.
Well, Weird Al plays
even
accordion.
He'll agree. Well, that's what makes it so unique. Drew Carey playing accordion.
Did he play accordion?
Nobody. Oh yeah.
Oh okay.
Famously.
Nobody
wants to see that.
Yeah. Driddle says that he has 2 accordions and that he also said something else about the Dean Cadillac is, and he has like a little picture thing of a fire. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Jeffrey Egan says that his guilty. Well, he didn't say his guilty pleasure, but he says Gibson SG, always wanted one, finally got one. I don't think the SG should be a guilty pleasure, is it? There are lots of people.
When I think guilty pleasure, I think it's the thing that you don't want anybody to know. Kind of like I don't want anybody to know how much I like the band Warrant.
Whoops. Well, now everybody knows, sir.
Yeah, I mean, I like that band way more than I should.
Mm-hmm.
That's the guilty pleasure part of it. Yeah. Yeah, I like Del Taco fish tacos. That's a guilty pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
Should I like them? No.
I like Nerds and Coors.
Yeah,
I like them because
pleasures.
Leslie and Dylan got us these Nerds, and I'm gonna eat some
of
of them.
By the way, down to the last 2 boxes.
There was a bunch.
There was a bunch, but we gave a bunch away. Just saying, because we can't get Nerds in Denver.
Yeah, we can get them, but
yeah. Stuff that you think. Yeah.
Okay, I changed my mind on Nerds and beer as a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
I'm just guilty of it. It's not pleasurable.
Yeah. Trying to think of other guilty pleasures of mine. So much stuff now, I don't even care. There was stuff that I used to care about. And
Dave says that his guilty pleasure would have to be his 61 SG Les Paul. I love that guitar. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I interrupted you as I always do.
No. Yeah, so I used to care more about what people thought of me or thought of the things that I liked, and now I don't so much care. Sometimes I do, but yeah, I like dorky, nerdy old Buicks. I like,
they are cool.
I like weird Yamaha guitars. I like
Did you show off your?
I haven't shown that one.
You want to
off.
show off one of your other guilty pleasures?
You want to show
Yeah, why not? We got a few minutes. We can talk about
the learn to play guitar.
I think it's a cool one. Yeah.
Right.
While you're doing that, I'll take some. Hey Willie, why muted? I don't know what that means. Guilty of what? Maybe it's a crime if it's a guilty pleasure. No, I don't think so, Mike. You can have whatever guilty pleasure you want. Josh said that he puked before I took a sip. Okay.
That's a felony is what he's thinking of.
Hey, Brian Duncan is here hanging out with us. Thanks for hanging out, Brian.
This guitar.
Yeah. So this, I love this guitar, but it is well and truly in the wacky shape.
It is.
Hey, Mike says that Chris, your car's awesome. We even had used a Z.
Which Mike?
Mike from Chicago. Mike from Evil Burrito.
Cool. Yep.
Hey, let's take a quick super chat from Doug Santaniello, who says, my guilty pleasure is I just put a 62-degree wedge in my bag, thinking I might need to flop shots like Phil McNicholson. There you go. I used to know a little bit more about golf, but not nearly as much as Doug. But yeah, there was a time when I knew some golf terms that were kind of a little obscure. Because I worked at a golf course, so yeah.
Yeah, I knew some because I saw Tin Cup like 4 times.
Yeah, Caddyshack too.
Yeah.
Go crazy.
Yeah, all the golf movies. Yeah. All right, so you want me to explain this thing?
I think let's just show it off a little bit. And you know what? You need a different shirt. Maybe I'll hold it.
Yeah. Well, so this is as you know, I love Yamaha guitars. After this is their second electric guitar, and this is called an SGA. This is a 5A. The 2 pickup version was the 2A. A lot of people call these the Flying Samurai because it looks somewhat like a samurai sword here, I think.
I would see that. I could see that.
And I think this is a 68, 69, something like that.
69, dude.
69. The unique thing about this guitar is we need to get it really, really close in the camera. Somebody took it upon themselves. Can you see that?
Oh, yeah, I think they can see it.
To stamp all the letters of the notes on the string board or on the strings on the fingerboard. So see, there's a C, and they're color coded, and you can't hardly see the color code. That's yellow. G is white. I think A is green. But anyway, they're all stamped in and color coded all throughout the fingerboard, and then they lacquered the fingerboard. And somebody or somebodies played the shit out of this thing because it is worn here like you read about. It is just gouged all to hell. This thing popped up on eBay and it went from good money to bad money or bad money to good money. And I just had to rescue it.
It's cool.
It's totally a rescue. And G is white. So this is the only time you can tell your bass player, go to white.
Go to white.
Yep, we're gonna play. This song starts in yellow.
Go to yellow.
Here we go.
Go to red. Nope, not orange.
Yeah. Yep. So anyway, guilty pleasure and rescue.
Yeah, very cool.
One of my favorite things.
Yeah, rescuing is sort of a guilty pleasure of yours, isn't it?
Absolutely, because I don't see them as what they are. I see them as what they could be.
Sure. So you know who else has a lot of cool stuff that you can rescue and a lot of cool stuff that's brand new and you can just take right home off the shelf is Ike and the guys at Flipside Music, the great American guitar store. If you didn't watch them at the first hour of Primetime Guitar, please go check them out next time. And if you're in the Denver metro area, check out the Legacy Shop before they move into the Destination Shop,
which is
very, very close. Finally
becoming a
deal.
Becoming a thing.
And if you're not in the Denver area and you need like I don't know, one of 12 zillion pedals that they have or a bunch of guitars or amps, every single thing they have is on the website, and that's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Check out Flipside Music, the great American guitar store. You know who else has a super cool website?
John and Cheryl at Bitterroot Guitars.
That's right. John, I actually ordered some stuff from John and Cheryl at Bitterroot Guitars just today. I ordered some truss rods and I can't remember what else I ordered, but we got a bunch of, we always get a big order from them. Mm-hmm. And if you use code TXTOAST at checkout, you get 15% off. So that ain't bad.
And if you're really good friends with John, he'll send you people that hit him up for weird stuff too.
Maybe. Yes, that's right.
He might throw you under the bus.
You know where I am going this weekend, Chris?
Yes, I do know where you're going.
I'm going to see my buddy Steve at Maximum Guitar Works. And I'm going to hang out with him. It's a big deal to go to see Steve because it's about an hour and a half away, which means it's about an hour and a half to get back home. So it takes a pretty decent, 3-hour chunk out of the middle of the day just to get there and get home. And you don't just go there and like get what you're getting and then leave right away. Steve's always got neat stuff happening and cool stuff going on. I'm looking forward to seeing Steve. If you guys need templates or if you need tools or if you need that mad scientist oil stuff, check out Steve at Maximum Guitar Works. And I think that coming up very soon, I'm going to be doing a video with something really neat from Steve. And I think you guys are going to love that. So check that out. We're going to be using wood that we sourced from Dan and Calvin at Tone Wood Experts. Speaking of big orders, he just called me out of the blue the other day and I'm like, yeah, you know what? I think I do want some flame maple tops. And $1,000 later, they're on the way. And I'm like, yeah. So I ordered a bunch more wood than I thought I did.
Well, luckily we use wood.
Luckily we do. And if you guys,
know that any's gone to waste.
No, if you guys need wood for your guitar project, check out Dan and Calvin at Tone Wood Experts. And if you use code Texas Toast 15 at checkout, you get 15% off that too. So that'll save you shipping.
I just had a really good idea.
What's that, sir?
I'm not going to tell you.
All right. And if you need pickups for your guitar, you know where you go, don't you? Dylan Pickups, link in the description below. It was so cool to have Dylan hang out with us last week.
It went way too fast, unfortunately.
It did go quick. We're used to having Dylan here for a month.
Well, part of it was we need to slow way down when he's here.
Why is that?
Well, just because it was like go, go, go. And then it seemed like each day was even more go, go, go.
Okay.
Like we just need a day to be like.
The cool thing though is you can that when you buy a Dylan pickup, Dylan's winding it. Uh-huh. So unlike Larry DiMarzio probably didn't wind any pickups anymore. Seymour Duncan probably didn't wind any pickups anymore. Dylan absolutely does. Yeah. Code in the description below. You can check out Dylan's pickups and you can put them in your next guitar, or you can buy one of our Challenger X's, which come with Dylan pickups.
Mm-hmm. And it's just always really fun to hang out with him.
It is.
Yeah.
If you, but you're right. You got to slow down a little bit. If you need help slowing down, may I recommend something? Check out Nigel's book.
I thought you were going to say Odyssey.
Check out Odyssey Beer Works. Yeah, if you need to slow down. No, well, yeah, that too. Slow down. Hey, relax. You can relax over at Odyssey Beer Works and try what. Do you think we'll ever do another beer from with Odyssey?
I think we will very soon.
I think we will.
Yeah.
I think another cool thing, and I read this. There's a link in the description below. My buddy from Queensland, Australia, has an ebook, and he's kind of inspired me to do a little bit more writing. And it's about how to make money in the woodworking industry. I should read it again because I'd like to make money too one day.
Someday.
Yeah.
Well, my new idea, we're going to make some money.
Yep. So anyway, have we thanked all of our sponsors? I do believe we have. What's your good idea? While we have a few more minutes before Dylan and Leslie go live with they're going to wrap up Primetime Guitar. And we got a super chat. I'm sorry. A super chat from my buddy, Richard Ryan. You guys could do a segment on Chris's restored orphan guitar. We absolutely could.
I would really like to do that. I'm terrible at filming and I'm even worse at editing, but at some point I'll at least show it off when it's done. That'll be forever from now.
Will you be doing a video with Jim Jam Jimmy in the future?
Yes, okay. We will. And it's not guitar related.
Oh, it's related, isn't it?
It's but it has nothing to do with guitars. It has everything to do with amplifiers.
Okay, gotcha. Which have nothing to do with guitars.
Well, it has a lot to do with it, but yeah, we're not going to polish frets.
No. Okay.
We're going to show everybody how to recover a Fender combo amp cabinet.
Cool.
In Western Tolex.
Sweet. So, Chris, you've got the floor for the next minute and a half. What?
I do?
Yeah.
Great.
What do you want to tell? Or do you do this? Is this just a secret that you're keeping?
Oh, no, I'm not going to tell you because
okay.
it has nothing to do with the guitar end of things.
Oh, okay.
And it's really kind of stupid. So,
well, it sounds good to me.
Yeah, it's going to be a real moneymaker. It's stupid and a moneymaker. Yeah.
All right.
And somebody might lose a finger.
It sounds like a Poison song.
Yeah.
So anyway, guys, thanks for watching and hanging out with us. I urge you to go check out Dylan Talks Tone, hang out with Dylan and Leslie, his lovely wife. And I am going to go home and hang out with the TV tonight. So looking forward to that. And
which Netflix are you going to watch? You going to watch the Dahmer thing?
Maybe, yeah.
The Marilyn Monroe thing?
I don't know. Maybe I'll mix them both together.
There you go. If you want to get creeped out, I think that's the way to go.
I think so too. All right, gang. So have a great night. We will probably see you tomorrow for some kind of reveal. Are we revealing something?
Something.
All right, gang. We'll see you tomorrow for a cool reveal. Have a good night, everybody.